known as the Roaring Twenties, boasted a time of growing success. A Republican political period, a time of sustained economic prosperity, and an explosion in social milestones of the arts. The Roaring Twenties presented a time of an invincible America.
With Prohibition in full effect, the Volstead Act of 1919 established a federal prohibition bureau to enforce the 18th Amendment. Anti-immigration sentiment peaked after World War II as well, leading to the Immigration Act of 1921 and the Johnson-Reed Immigration Act of 1924, which set maximum numbers and quotas of immigrants permitted to come to the United States each year. After the death of President Harding, Calvin Coolidge succeeded to the presidency in August 1923 and won the presidential election in 1924. The National Woman's Party, founded in 1916 by Alice Paul, campaigned for an equal rights amendment to gain equality with men, but failed to gain passage by Congress. The presidential election of 1928 revealed how important ethical and cultural differences had become in defining American politics, with the main conflicts revolving around native-born versus immigrant, Protestant versus Catholic, and prohibition versus legal drinking. Herbert Hoover won the election, advocating the associative state, in which the government would encourage voluntary cooperation among corporations, consumers, workers, farmers, and small businessmen. He actively encouraged the creation and expansion of national trade associations and received support from the Supreme Court in upholding the legality of trade associations.
Economic-wise, the United States emerged from the World War I the strongest / political economic power in the world. The war transformed it from the world's leading debt nation to its most important creditor. European governments owed the U.S. government $10 billion in 1919. America had $3 billion more invested abroad than foreigners had invested in the U.S. during the 1920s. War debts and reparations were the single most decisive issue in international economics. By 1929, the surplus was $8 billion. New York replaced London as the center of international finance and capital markets.
The 1920s saw the rise of popular movements. The Jazz Age had begun and jazz bands were becoming increasingly popular. At the time, the major sport was baseball, with legendary players such as Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. First commercial radio stations had begun in Detroit, and art movements such as Surrealism and Art Deco were born. Social problems of the 1920s included the growth of the Ku Klux Klan and the controversy of the Scopes trial concerning the teaching of evolution. Mob bosses such as Al Capone led organized crime to new heights, making money smuggling and selling alcohol during Prohibition.
The Republican presidential reign of creating a roaring political society, the rise of the economy, and the development of culture reigned the 20s. However, prosperity of the 20s would never be shared in large sectors of this country. It was the key economic, political, and social trends that helped shape America to where it is today.